Hey guys, it's a gouache and watercolor kind of day. So I've pretty much just been on a kick with trying gouache paint lately, and I love it. It was pretty hard for me to get used to, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of it now, and I'm loving working with it. If you've never tried gouache paint, it's more like an opaque watercolor. It just doesn't blend as easily either, but you can do light on top of dark, which is wonderful, and that's why I love it. Plus, it almost has this like digital painting kind of look, even though it's a traditional painting. It's really nice. And I feel like it's just made me change my style a little bit. So this painting is more on the steampunk end of things, and I love steampunk stuff lately. I mean, pretty much for the last year I just mostly have done digital artwork with steampunk stuff, and I decided I wanted to carry it into traditional art. So here we are, and if you want to know a little bit about this, now is time for the lovely backstory. So this girl's name, well, she's not really like known for a name, she's known for what she does. And her duty, I guess you could say, is she's the minute keeper. And if you don't know me, I'm obsessed with the concept of time. I love time. And I felt like this painting with the whole background and everything that you'll see later was great to express kind of what I wanted to convey. And basically, she's the minute keeper because like she has to kind of hold time together, and that's her duty, and it's a very stressful job. It takes a lot of responsibility, and she works in a very cluttered shop with like tons of gears and everything that are always going and keeping track of like the giant clock that keeps track of time. But then there's all these little clocks too. And it's like she's kind of, well, time is a lot more serious in her world than it is here. For instance, if she drops a watch or an hourglass falls over or just any little clock cracks, like the glass on the clock, any of that glass, if it breaks, then time and minutes, especially, they just start leaking away like sand. Just imagine an hourglass and sand leaking down to the bottom. Well, if you imagine that sand just leaking out of the hourglass instead, and it can't come back, you can't redeem that time because it's gone, it's wasted now. Like, that's a big deal, and that's a big loss. And, people get upset with her if she accidentally does break a watch or a clock or anything like that because their minutes are affected by this because they all leak away. So, for instance, if a clock does happen to break and the glass shatters on the face of that clock, people will start to age faster and they'll die quicker, and people will just be robbed of their time, and it's a sad thing. And so in town when something bad happens in the clock factory because the wrinkles start becoming more pronounced and old people go in spurts and just all this crazy stuff. And so time is very important in this world. That's pretty much the backstory. I know it's pretty deep, but, deal with it. I'm going to get into some deep stuff here soon on my channel anyway. But it was so much fun making these gears and making them look all old and just, yeah, I had a blast doing this, especially also with the hair. Yeah, like the colors, and, I started with like an orangish thing. And then I decided, well, I want to lay some purple into it. And it was just, I loved it. And so I hope you guys enjoy this. One last thing I want to say is the original of this painting is on my Etsy shop. It's about 8.5 by 11, maybe a little bit bigger. And I also put a bunch of other small originals on my shop, and they're for cheap prices. And so, this is first come, first serve. And I also added some prints, and I just wanted to say that I'm doing a spring sale, and so if you use the coupon code SPRINGSALE on any order that's over $30, you'll get 15% off. And so this is the biggest sale I've done yet, and I just decided, you know what, I want to throw a nice thank you sale at you guys because you've been so kind to me. You've supported me opening my store and everything, and now that spring is coming, I want to give my thanks back to you. So, thank you guys for your support, and I hope you like this painting. Let me know what you think of it, and if anybody else out there is very obsessed with the concept of time, let me know, because, yeah, it's one of my favorite things to think about, and well, yeah. Okay, that's pretty much all I have to say, and so I'll just